Okay. That sounds good to me. Oh, we have a spectator. He's already betting against me. No worries. I forgot to do something. I can't believe I forgot to do that. No, you're okay. You're A-okay. I forgot to sell my turret, so I had to undo all my deployment, sell the turret, and then redo them very rapidly. And I almost failed deployment because of that. Checking. I think I got them all. Nope, I didn't rebuy. Yeah, I forgot to repurchase one. Doggone it. I finished with 1 second left. I did the whole thing. So I looked at it and thought, wait a minute, why do I still have 2 turrets? I meant to sell that one. So I was like, undo very rapidly. Oh well, yeah. I've been trying to get in the muscle memory because I usually leave the turrets to round 3. And one of the feedbacks that U-Band gave me was you need to sell your turret sooner. So I've been trying to get into that muscle memory. Hey, you got the steel balls. Alright, stay alive, little crawlers. I need you to distract for me. Oh, I got that whole other crawler group coming in still. Okie dokie. Let's see here. That did not work. Come on, little crawlers, I believe in you. He's got this. Never mind. Nice beacon. Pretty much. There goes my tower, though. Yep. Alright, this is looking better. Okay. Ah, I screwed up. I forgot to block that steel ball. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
There you are. I lost you for a minute there. I got you back. Ouch.
Hey. Javelin.
That tower's gonna hurt.
I think I got you here.
I think you do. Ooh, those phoenixes are pounding me. Oh yeah, that's game.
So, from this one, I like all of the units that you played. I also like that back beacon, by the way. That was good. I say only issue here is the lack of actual chaff clear actually was what was getting you in trouble, and I should have punished this earlier to showcase this, but the Badgers were very, very, very exposed in the sense of they are basically all the way up front there. I did this on the last turn, trying to missile them all out.
Right.
On that, because they have sub 5k HP, so they're easily missiled. I also, like on the previous turn, had the Scorpions up front, just do a quick shot there, and then that's kind of all of your chaff clears. Those 3 units that aren't really teched up, and they're just kind of sitting there. There's no later chaff clear, or the chaff clear's not put further enough back or far enough back to actually be able to, help long term. And then on the other side there that I kept getting with the steel ball, I think probably just needed to respect the ball push just a tiny bit more on that. Maybe add like a badger. On that, the Scorpion edition was really good from the drop because it helps address the actual ball itself because it's got a good amount of HP. And also deals with the later Rhino, but I think you just need a badger just so it cleans up, the residual like crawler stuff and it lets the Scorpion or the Raiden, for that matter, make good connections still.
Makes sense. So I might have been over relying on the Raiden because looking at it, I've got fork and chain. So my thought with that, and I'm not defending it, just I'm explaining my rationale. You can correct me here and explain why this is probably bad rationale, but in my mind, I'm like, I've got chain, so it's going to jump to adjacent units. I don't need more fire badgers because I'm pivoting out of badgers to Raiden. It's just going to delete everything in front of it. Is my thought process. But I'm presuming chain infinitely goes to anything within the radius of the initial shot. If that makes sense. 6 cubes, 60 meters, right? So my thought is if I shoot,
it will chain to different things dealing 25%, so it'll deal up to, in this case, 2,500 damage.
Right, which in my mind is enough to kill all the crawlers that get hit. Because they're 381.
It'll kill crawlers. If you're looking to do kind of a Raiden push like that, usually the Raidens have to be a bit closer together. Like, I'm not even kidding, like when people do this, they like stack them almost on top of each other. And
okay, so I've got them too spread out.
Them as a pod.
Okay. So I've really got them too spread out for that then, in this case.
And if you can, I know you said you're on Discord on the phone, so if you want to actually watch this on the phone, because I got this stream pulled up at the moment. So I liked having the layered chaff lines. You can actually get away with having a little bit less chaff.
Okay, so I might have been too chaffy.
No, it's just what I mean is you can save yourself deployments to get more of those badgers by having these be vertical because it covers further back. So these ones, like I like that you have layers. I think it was probably a little bit long before the front layer got added.
I did that literally in the last round. I think I should have done it sooner.
So actually, funny enough, where these 3 initial crawlers were that you built, this is actually like roughly where I'd kind of like the badgers to be.
Interesting, okay.
Is right about here, because it allows you to have some vertical chaff in front of them. Then you can put vertical chaff behind them and kind of just do what you're doing here, where you've got these vertical chaff lines that are coming in at different intervals and creating a problem. And then what you can do is kind of each badger can kind of get its own Raiden buddy as well. The Farseers earlier on, I don't think were bad. I don't remember if that was a unit drop or not.
I bought that.
Okay.
I think because you had the the Phoenixes. So I thought, well, I need something for Phoenix. There was the Marksman drop at one point, but I thought I don't really want to go Marksman. I think I decided I'm going to go into the Farseers because they've got more utility and they're better than the Marksman, and they're faster. So I thought I can beacon them around if I need to later on.
So a recommendation I have if you're looking to rely on Farseer as an air unit, air specialization, very strong tech, very needed for this unit. A lot of people will actually cut range off of the Farseer. Farseer will usually be a single tech unit. So Farseer is either going to get kind of air spec taken to deal with, like I said, air threats, or it's the Photon.
Gotcha.
If you're keen on keeping range, and you like the utility of scanning radar, you could cut EMP. Now, I say that with the caveat of, does your Marksman or Phoenix or both have EMP on the tech bar?
I have both.
Okay, good. So that's going to allow you to deal with, air. It's important that you have at least some source of air EMP available.
Right.
So what you could probably do is, because the Farseer is very expensive in comparison to those 2 units for air targets.
It really is.
You could dump EMP off and put air spec on in that slot. As for the Badgers, so let me go ahead and let's go ahead. I don't want to redo the Jav round because that's just spell stuff. Well, let me go ahead and see if we can grab a different round here.
Sounds good. And honestly, I'm not real great with Fire Badgers. I started trying to use them more because I know they're a meta unit, so to speak. But I've usually preferred like the Coley Mustangs or the Arclight for my chaff clear, or the Vulcan is what I really prefer if I can get my hands on it. In fact, I took the shield, which was a mistake. I never wanted using it. I shouldn't have taken it, but I took the ground shield thinking I would pivot into the Vulcans. Then I decided I'm just going to double down on the Raidens, and I'm not going to do that. So I wasted that card drop basically, which is another mistake. But with the Fire Badges, I feel like it's kind of weird for me to try to play them. Like if I play the techs that are meta, like the the Scorching Charge, for example. My issue with that is I feel like I'm hurting my own units because I play crawlers a lot, so I'm burning my own units, eventually, and ruining my chaff. So I don't know, I haven't really found a good pace with them.
So what people will often do with these Badger lines, or if you're intending on going Scorching Charge, now mind you, this is an interesting matchup. Going Scorching Charge Badger will usually bait out Hacker. So going Raiden for Badger Raiden can be good because the Raiden counters the Hacker.
Okay, that makes sense.
And usually when they go to take Hacker, you want to get into Raiden, and eventually you'll want to, in addition to Scorching Charge, just range the Badger to kind of change its role, and you've already baited them into Hacker. So they're not going to really be able to back out of it, and you just keep building Raidens and supporting cast to kind of kill their stuff. Now let's go back to... Alright, let's do maybe... I don't want to do a unit drop round. I want to do... Okay, let's go to this barrier run. I thought you were going to take EMP, so I actually didn't tech the Phoenix this turn because I thought you were going to EMP the doggies there. Alright, so what we'll do here instead... there's no real text on the board here yet. You could go try to EMP the armor and the hounds. We'll take a skip here so we keep all our money. There's a ball push going on over here. We've got a rhino over here. I think that you'd put this over here, so I'll still do that. Just for this sake, let's go ahead and do Scorching Charge Badgers. And we're going to want to take some tower enhancements at this point. The Badger's going to want the HP, the attack, and we'll buy another Raiden. Now, because we're buying Raidens to deal with the Phoenix, we can start selling out of these Farseers. Because we're going to pivot into something else to deal with the air threats.
Okay.
So, we'll set these guys up a little bit here. We do need to deal with this ball threat. So, what we can do instead, I like the leveling of the crawler here, just to answer that, that's good. So, what we can do here is we can missile any potential crawler that's going to be joining this. And you can either put a Void Eye over here, or instead, what we can do is we can start chaffing up front here on that, just so these guys get a little bit of reprieve before they start getting teed off on here. And then what we can do is just do a chain missile. So what we're accepting is that this potentially can still get in. But we're going to do our best to kind of answer it this turn, just so that way it doesn't hurt us too bad. So we'll roll 100 or just take 10 speed. It doesn't really matter too much. So we stall the ball a little bit. We have the Scorching Charge. And Scorching Charge can be a decent answer to Hound Armor, which is what I had taken, because it'll run the Badgers into the Hounds, which will deal their HP damage. Alright, I don't remember how this game had gone in-game, so this is you losing with about 1,300. Let me go back to...
I think I lost a little bit harder in-game. Let me look at the battlefield.
Okay, you're at 3K. Okay, you actually won that round, so what I did was actually worse.
Let me see here.
I think it's because you started going into the Raidens a lot, so... Oh, you know what? Actually, this will be a good positioning moment here. Let me go back to round 1. So,
trying to look and see what the
final...
final...
This is kind of what I was talking at.
Okay, you're back in round 1? Gotcha.
Yeah, let me kind of show what I'm talking about. Now, a good Badger Crawler starter here would be a unit that is very good into Hounds and Balls, Void Eyes.
Void Eyes?
Very a good unit here. I would probably dump aerial for charge shot or energy shield, or you can keep energy shield for charge shot. A lot of people run that. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Now what we're going to do is be very intentional here. We're going to leave about a 40-meter gap over here. So if we want to put a giant in this corner like a fortress, we have the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and we'll put our badger here. We'll line up our void eyes with the badgers, so that way they can help out. And we're going to start making these chaff lines early. We're expecting a headbutt because the hounds and balls are probably going to set up either in a mid-range or they're going to set up front because they don't want to push the magnetic barricade and a turret. So this is how we're going to set up here for starters, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. And the void eyes will definitely help out with making sure that these steel balls kind of get dealt with. And Tard's going to clean this up nicely. Alright, let's hurry it up. There we go. So what this setup will help with this would be a very kind of common setup, but this is just going to help show the chaff line thing I was talking about. So you'll have your vertical crawlers that will block off being able to get missile. There is still a corner missile, I think, here that can hit this badger, but you can always, invest in the flanks at some point if you want to, but this just kind of sets up the board to where, like, we can put a phoenix here right behind the badger to help out.
Okay.
We can put an additional crawler, to help out over here, or we can, stack a void eye to make sure that the hounds are all accounted for here with void eyes. Because if I go armor and the badgers get stuck on this and the void eyes don't shoot them, then the void eyes have to try and clear the crawlers, which will end up going poorly. So it's important that your DPS always has obviously appropriate chaff clear with it, that they work together, and the DPS is able to see the same stuff that the chaff clear can see, if not beyond what the chaff clear sees.
Okay, makes sense.
So that way, if I go armor, like I did in a future round here, you already have existing void eyes, and you can maybe take range on the void eyes to try and, punish that, instead of being forced into kind of like scorching charge. And instead with the badger, since we're headbutting, you can either just go scorch, or you can go counterfire to give these guys a little bit more HP and, kind of skin in the game.
Okay.
So just thinking for compliments on units that you can think about when you're playing. But something like this, so you actually do get the void eyes here, so this is good. This is a good round to take over. Consideration, because these are, so say this is a crawler, hypothetical crawler. This does not protect the badge from getting missiled. The missile will kill both of these units because missiles have a 20-meter splash zone.
Right, it's going to catch them both.
So it'll catch both of these, even if you put a crawler here. So even if you put like a crawler here, this is still far enough forward where if somebody does kind of a pretty close precision missile, they can hit the badger still. So unfortunately, due to the positioning, we really don't want to put the void eyes here. We kind of have to set them back a little bit, which, as long as we're lining them up with the hounds, we could be okay. But let's see if we can give these badgers a little bit of self-preservation. Get rid of that, and we probably want to grab some anti-air ourselves, so we'll grab ourselves some phoenix. And let's see here. Maybe get another void eye for over here for this guy. Just get us some anti-air just to make sure that we're covered in that regard. I don't mind. I did not hate that level, and we'll take HP1 just to kind of... Doesn't help us get over the missile yet, but gives these guys a little bit more durability. Alright, so see, we still got some badgers alive here, which is good. This outer pocket was gonna be a little bit sketchy, but that's okay. Alright, we are unfortunately gonna lose to anti-air. So, this is... I'm gonna beat this to death with all three of you, like I do. This is why positioning is one of the most important things in Mechabellum. If these badgers were just 20 meters further back, we could do defensive crawlers here to guarantee that these guys are never in any danger.
Yeah.
But because of how they're positioned, you can see how it's awkward for us to kind of put DPS behind them.
Right.
Because if we put the DPS behind them, we can't really protect these from getting missiled.
Makes sense.
Unless you buy a shield, which, you know, that comes with a little bit of a hefty price tag when you do it enough.
Yeah, it really does.
So this is kind